Warning, don't let your loved ones go to the farmer's market if they want to be a homesteader. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I apologize for this scenery. This is, the office slash spare bedroom for my son when he visits, workshop with all of his tools in the background, etc. And the missus hates it when this is on display to everybody. Sorry, love. Having to do it this way because we had some technical difficulties with the camera equipment earlier this week. It lost, deleted, recorded over. Not exactly sure what happened, but some of the stuff from Saturday's trip to the farmer's market got deleted, but I still wanted to share some of that with you. This is just a huge farmer's market. I love that place. My dream is to one day have my own stand there. They've got one building that you can walk through and find fresh baked goods, handmade shakes, handmade sodas, handmade craft items of any type, handmade soap, some of the produce you can buy there, old-timey candies, things like, your grandparents talked about how they would eat and you would sometimes find when you're a kid, and you can't find them anywhere else now, but somehow or another they're finding them and they're selling them there in some of those stores inside the building there at the farmer's market. You can buy pasture-raised meat of all kinds. People are raising it themselves and they're very, very proud of it, and they should be. That goes from any kind of poultry and eggs, goose, duck, chicken, quail, meat, the raw meat, or pre-made sausage of various kinds and various varieties. You can even buy seafood that is caught here in North Carolina. In fact, one of our favorite restaurants that the missus and I used to love to go to was the North Carolina Seafood Restaurant. The plates there were humongous. We would get a fried shrimp tray that we would split, and it was just your standard styrofoam tray. And it's a ton of food on that tray when I'm sharing it, and we might still have some left over because I don't share fried shrimp with anybody. Reason we went was because we needed to buy the plants we were going to put in the garden. I shouldn't say I'm not starting anything from seed, but I'm starting very few things from seed. The things that are pretty safe, but my tomato plants and my eggplants, and I used to buy the pepper plants, but I didn't buy the peppers this go around. Some of the lettuces, the greens. I'm not starting those from seed myself. Went there to purchase those, and we got a pretty good haul of some things. We bought some paste tomatoes because we wanted to try making our own sauce, maybe even a ketchup. One of the things that we've discovered in the last couple of years is that there's some food sensitivities that we got to work around, and some of those include garlic and onions. Did you know how much food has garlic and onion in it as a spice or a seasoning? Quite a bit. Therefore, that's been part of the motivation for getting the garden back rolling again, is let's grow our own tomatoes. Let's see if we can make our own sauce that we really like ourselves. We'll season it the way that we want to or can to meet our current health needs, and it'll just be fun doing it as well. To that goal, we picked up 4 Amish paste tomatoes, 2 San Marzanos. We're also going to grow a sandwich tomato, Better Boy, and a cherry tomatoes, but Tammy's mom has started those seeds for us, and we're going to pick those plants up. Well, I guess you should say past tense. We picked those plants up the day after our farmer's market trip. We also picked up, oh my goodness, several types of lettuce. We picked up 2 butter crunch plants, something called a Skyphos. It's a red lettuce and a little more heat tolerant. We picked up something called a Nevada Crunch that is also more heat tolerant. And we picked up a whole flat of romaine. There we go. I knew it started with an R. Why couldn't I think of romaine? We picked up a whole flat of romaine lettuce. My got that home, I was like, this is a lot of lettuce. That's 11 lettuce plants if I put all of those in the ground. We will have to eat salad every single day. We don't have tomatoes yet. We don't have cucumbers yet. We're going to have to purchase those to throw into these salads that we're going to have to start eating every day. I guess getting back into the garden is going to change our eating habits as well. We picked up eggplants, 4 eggplants to put in the ground. What else did we pick up plant-wise? Oh, we picked up some herbs. We picked up some rosemary, thyme, basil, and oregano, your big 4, at least the big 4 for us. And we picked up a flat of marigolds that I can scatter throughout the ground to help keep pests and things that want to eat my plants away. Coming back with all that lettuce is part of the danger of going to the farmer's market, because you see all these foods that you want to try, or you want to grow them yourself. And the next thing you know, have been talking about how the garden's going to be a lab experiment this summer. You're just getting back into the saddle. You're going to go slow. You're going to take your time. You're going to get back into the groove of learning how to grow this stuff. And the next thing you know, you're growing 97 varieties of some sort of produce. Yeah, that's what I've done. My name's Matt, and I want to be a homesteader, and it's a problem. Don't get me started about the price of chicken, about how I almost came home and bought everything I needed to start raising poultry. Another video, another time. After we purchased the plants that we were going to put in our own garden, we took the time to just cruise and look at all the produce that was there. Always the most beautiful produce. We picked out some things that we'd be eating that evening, things that we already had on our grocery list. Hey, why not buy it from a local farmer instead of buying it from the grocery store chain? And that is always amazing to me, how beautiful it is. The different produce that is there and put out by the different farmers. We picked out our plants, we picked out our produce. Then I took just a few minutes to just walk and enjoy the beautiful flowers that are out, and trying to decide whether to buy some flowers to decorate our porch, or we're horrible landscapers, maybe put it on a landscape. And every year I want to do that, and then I'm reminded that we'll just kill it. It won't grow, or we don't have the sun for it, or let's do something else. So I didn't do it, but man, these were some pretty flowers. The last thing we did before coming home was purchase some gluten-free donuts. Last fall, Tammy had gone to the farmer's market alone and said she had discovered a woman making gluten-free donuts. That's really important for us because she has to be gluten-free now. Did you know that Krispy Kreme doesn't make a gluten-free donut? I don't think Dunkin' Donuts makes a gluten-free donut. Why don't you people make a gluten-free donut? Do you realize how many people would purchase those? But I digress. Tammy had discovered this lady who makes them. They're called Kotoko Bites. And it was really interesting to talk to her and hear about how she got into that business.
You want to explain what you got going on here?
We have a vegan donut, one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
We have one made with yuca, and it is soy-free, corn-free. I'm like, I
dairy-free. It's free of everything except wonderful deliciousness.
It's all of this free.
Yeah, all of that free. And we are kind of a healthy donut. We are conscious about where we eat, and we want to make sure that it doesn't have the after effect. And we use rice bran oil.
Mm-hmm.
That was some really lousy camera work on my part because I was a little distracted by donuts, so I apologize. That was our day. Going to the farmer's market, again, always a danger for me because I see it and I want to be a farmer. I want to produce food for me, for people in my community, and I don't know why I haven't done it other than the fact that I'm afraid of failure and it would cost a lot of money, and I would jump in and I'd go too fast without counting the cost. And that's a video of its own in terms of the cost. But we're not going there today. We got what we needed, including gluten-free donuts, and then came on home because I still had some work that I had to do because I had to get the garden and the new raised bed ready so we could plant these things. And that's a whole nother video of its own that'll be coming up here soon. Overall, always enjoy a trip to the farmer's market. I've never been to the farmer's market and didn't enjoy it. The only bad thing about going to the farmer's market is there's never enough time for me to just stay. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do me a favor. Give it a thumbs up, maybe even share it with somebody. If you want to keep up with this crazy dream I have of trying to be a farmer / homesteader and whatever other trouble I may get into, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can keep up with what's going on. And as always, remember, the one who created you made you able to create also. So get out there and make it, grow it, and live it.